Sharon Mohammed is a woman on a mission, spreading the word about a paint problem. She was washing her 2012 Ford Escape when she first noticed something was wrong.
There was flaking paint, and then underneath, just little bits of rust forming.
And on the other side, what's happening?
Well, similar problems. It's just a little bit more advanced that the rust has started to come up onto the rear panel.
She took it in for service.
The dealer had actually said to me that they see these problems all the time. They're fixing them all the time.
But not this time. Her car was no longer under warranty. She appealed to Ford Canada, no luck.
And it's getting worse, and I'm seeing them on the street, and I'm thinking I need to do something about it.
So she printed up these flyers to alert other Ford Escape owners about the problem. And that's how she met Megan Pugh and her father, Jerry.
Well, I love these vehicles, love them.
But the Pughs don't love this.
It's crazy how it's coming off.
And the problem is spreading.
The entire inside of my trunk line is rusted through. That's gross.
It's happening on the hood, too. Their dealership brushed them off.
It's the driving conditions in Manitoba, it's the product they put on the roads, and I told them I wash these cars, or wash my car every week. When I bought 2 cars from these people, you would think that they would, at the very least, want to help me somehow. Nothing.
It's too thin prime, and it's classic.
This chemical engineer wrote the book on Ford's paint problem. According to him,
the thin paint, this has nothing to do with the environment. This is a factory paint defect, originated at the factory.
There's no recall on the cars for the issue. Ford says there isn't even a technical service bulletin. In an email statement, Ford Canada says, "We take all feedback from our customers very seriously and are looking into their concerns." Sharon Mohammed hopes the company does more than look into her concerns.
They really should be fixing them, the vehicles, for people, not just for me, but for the owners that are having this problem.
As for Jerry Pugh, whatever the company does will be too little, too late.
So they just don't care. And so they won't get my business.
Okay, so Katie, what do you do if you've got a problem like this? The dealership and the company won't fix it.
Well, in our story tonight, you met chemical engineer Stephen Geiske. Now, he's assisted a lot of Ford owners in the U.S. to recoup money for paint issues.
Yeah, and does he have an idea that could help us?
Well, yeah, but there's multi-pronged approach here. So he has what's called a cookie cutter method. So you go to a local body shop and you get an opinion that it's a factory defect. Then you approach the dealership with that opinion. Now, if the dealership still says no, you request Ford Canada measure the thickness of the 4 layers of paint on your car. Now, Geiske says Ford has published its specifications. It's not a trade secret. And each layer of paint should be at or above the required level of thickness. Now, if it's not, it's a factory defect and Ford should fix it. But Geiske says Ford has never accepted his invitation to do that on a vehicle.
You can actually do that. You can walk in and say, measure the thickness of my paint, please.
Yeah,
wow.
you can.
So, and then what option is an owner left with?
Well, once you've performed all of those steps and you've gotten the paperwork to go along with it, then you really have no other choice but to go to small claims court. And Geiske said that's where he has had a lot of success with the people that he's advised, and they've been able to get back some of the money for the paint jobs from Ford.
Well, that's interesting, because I think small claims court would actually scare a lot of people off and they wouldn't bother. But
well, if you have your paperwork in order, sometimes it works.
Sometimes it works.
Now, if you have a problem with Ford Escapes, you should give us a call. We've gotten a lot of calls this morning. You can do that by calling 788-3744. That's our confidential tip line. Or you can go and email us, iteam@cbc.ca.